Hey guys, Joe here. So, I am walking to get my car. Hopefully it's actually fixed. So, I was leaking power steering fluid and some other shit. And so we'll see what happens. But, the goal of this video, because I don't really have much to talk about, is just to show you that you can pretty much make content any point of the day, right? Doesn't matter what you're doing. And you can be in front of a fence. You don't have to be in front of a fence. Could be like you were just talking to a homeowner, you're driving to the next quote, and then they're like, and then they had said something or asked something, and you're like, oh, you know what? Since I get this question like 10 times a week, maybe I should just answer it. And the cool thing you can do, because I haven't really talked about this, talked about it in the past, but the whole point of the content, right? So I've been saying basically 3 things that you need to do. You need to shoot it, you need to post it, and then after that you need to boost it. You really need to boost the content because I was on Facebook today and there was a contractor that had a really nice post. It was kind of like perfect, that like they were talking about how they rented a U-Haul and because there was a lot of tear down and shit like that. And so anyway, I saw that, I'm like, oh, this is a really good post. And so anyway, it was like his cousin or something was doing work. And so he came in with him. And he's like, oh, I'm this company, right? I'm like, wait a minute. I just saw your post. You had the U-Haul, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, that was great content. The problem is he posted it and there was like 2 likes. I can't go into the analytics because I don't have access to that. But like no one sees it because Facebook makes you pay to get seen, more or less, right? So, and that's one thing you can do. Is again, that's where you want to shoot the content, post it, and then boost it. So you can at least get people to see what the hell you're doing. Because if you don't do that, no one's going to see it. So step number 1 is just do that stuff, right? Shoot it, post it, boost it. After that, you can get a little bit more fancy. But the other thing you can do with this content. So again, say you were just at a quote, customer asked you something, and you're like, oh yeah, that's like the 10th time I answered that in the last week. Let me do a video. You can take that video, instead of just posting it online, which I would do as well, is if you're going out to another estimate and it's for that same type of material. So say it was for vinyl fence, you got the same question as always. Well, after you schedule the appointment to go out to that person for the quote, just send a text message and be like, hey, this is a question that I'll see you on Thursday at 2 or whatever. Excited to see you, whatever. And like send a text message with that and says, look, I've gotten this question 10 times in the past week. So I figured it might be like, you might have this question as well, so I'm gonna send it to you, right? And what's happening with this is you are actually building a rapport with the homeowner without even having to really do anything. Because the cool part is you can take that content or that text message or that video or whatever, and you can text that every time that you're doing a quote for that particular type of service. And what's happening is, 1, no one's doing that. And by the time you get there, they already know who you are because they've seen your face, they heard you talk, and you're already building a relationship. And it builds, number 1, once you post, shoot, and boost, the goal of that is for branding. So that way, when the time comes for them to buy a fence or whatever you sell, that they actually do it. And then, but the other thing is, when you do the text message like this, when you're like, it's just increasing the likelihood of them going with you because no one else is doing this shit. So, hope this helps. I'm walking into the dealership now. Hope you guys are doing well. Talk to you. Bye. So, I just picked up my car. Oh, I didn't even announce. Oh my God, this is the craziest thing. I don't know if you can see on there, but I don't know what is going on. But in the last like 2 weeks, I have seen the time 12:34. I don't even know how many times at this point. It's pretty crazy. And I'm wondering what the hell it is, right? So before I didn't put like a lot of thought process into this stuff. The things that kind of just seem like they're random acts and things like that. But since I started doing things like visualization, which I really need to get back into, and things like that, there's just too many things to ignore, I guess is a good way to put it. And so anyway, so I don't know what the 1234 symbolizes, if it symbolizes anything at all. Maybe I should look that up. And I don't know. But at the end of the day, we could always fit our narrative into like anything that happens. But that being said, it has been really freaking busy. I said it on yesterday's video, but it's insane. So at this point, I looked at our sales from last year for like the same period of like this week versus same week of last year, and our sales were double, and we didn't even, that's for the entire week, right? It's only Thursday, and I looked at that yesterday, so there's already a few more orders that got added on, and we still have tomorrow as well. So there's a chance like we might have done like 3 times the sales this week compared to last year. And for most of the year, we've been up like 25-30%, somewhere around there, and I don't know what the hell happened. And the crazy part actually is too that, so I was talking to Cruz this morning real fast, and he's like asking about if we're definitely getting the truck tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, why? And he's like, because we're almost out, right? We just got the truck yesterday, and within a day we've sold all of it, which is pretty nuts. And again, that was in the morning I talked to him. So like there was orders added on and things like that. So I don't know what's going on. We're kind of in this fine line going into winter and stuff like that. Obviously you need to have product on the ground, but you don't want to have too much stuff. You don't want to have all your money tied up in the product that's not going to sell and things like that. Plus there's only so much room that we have for this stuff. So long story short, we had a truck yesterday. So Wednesday, we have a truck Friday, we have another truck Monday, and another truck Wednesday coming in. So I can't complain whatsoever. And Maria is like stressing herself out. And I'm like, I'm sure they would much rather, like, I'm sure they're a little stressed back there, but I'm sure they would be like more stressed about having to work longer hours as opposed to not having any work. And they felt the same way. So that's what we've got. Tomorrow is Contractor and Crew Appreciation Day. Now, what we've been having like the same shit over and over. So we've been asking, I think tomorrow we're doing Chick-fil-A for lunch. So if you are in the Philadelphia area and you want to come meet us anyway, depending on when this gets posted, we will be having Chick-fil-A for lunch tomorrow for Friday. So we got that. Had another conversation, same thing. So yeah, I talked about that conversation where the guy that was looking at the Facebook post and like he had came in. And so anyway, right as I was leaving to go like that, right before I left to go on that walk that you guys just saw, there's construction again. Another contractor was coming in. We were just asking how everything is and blah. And I was just saying the same thing, right? And so actually the other thing that we're working on, so right now you're going to end up noticing there's going to be a lot more content coming out, as much as we possibly can anyway. And so right now we're trying to make sure everything's kind of figured out. We're starting with the bare minimum stuff, and then we're kind of going from there. And so anyway, what you'll start seeing is this daily vlog series. So you'll see that. And so we're doing like 3 pieces of content, or 3 types of content. So number 1 is a daily vlog series, which is this. So it's like longer content, not really edited, nothing really to it, right? Unless I say, I don't know, like the other video, I'm like talking about how my editor's gonna put like a pumpkin or a pie or something. So there's stuff like that. So that's the one type of content, because it's just very easy to like pump out like quicker, right? So we got that. The next type of content is like content within this content, right? So if there was something that was, not special is the wrong word, but basically if there's something that we thought could be used for a shorter piece of content. So, because I'm in the car longer today, so we might end up with a daily vlog of like an hour long, right? And then so what we can do is go back and take it and do maybe 5-minute clips and stuff like that. And with that, you can use Opus or even CapCut. Again, we're gonna end up doing a video on how to do that stuff. It's very simple. And then the other type of content is, we're calling it structured content, right? So this is where my goal is to have a really well thought out video with the editing and everything else. So not like this crazy editing where it's got like a lot of like crap flying all over and like a lot of sound effects and like all this other kind of stuff, but rather just more focused things that are something that I think is really important. The first one's going to be about content and whatnot, but this will have more visual aspects and things like that, and really taking the time to see what's going to be engaging, what is, you know, if there's like 3 concepts. You had your turn signal on, dude. If there's like 3 concepts that you're talking about, or like 3 concepts that are within the video, trying to relate it to like metaphors or simple images or animations and things like that. So that way I can take more complex type conversations and more things that are in depth and be able to explain it very quickly, concisely, and things like that. So what you'll start seeing is this daily vlog is like every day, right? And then the edited stuff, you might see like 2 to 3 of them a week. And then the more of the structured content, the goal for me is once every 2 weeks at this point. Now, that being said, we might keep on going. It might take longer, but as long as there's like consistent effort every day on that video to make it the best it possibly can, I don't care if it takes 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, as long as we're constantly working on it to make it the best it possibly can. So hopefully you guys can see that. And I guess to get into and because this will be kind of like for the structured content as well, so it's kind of me just talking out loud, but I think it's important, is so with the way everyone's saying the same thing. I keep on talking contractors and they're all saying the same thing. And I'm like, is this what you're saying? And they're like, yes, right? Or even if I don't ask them, they'll tell me what's going on. And it's literally these 3 things. So I know I keep on talking about it, but I just will keep on talking about it. There's not enough leads coming in, or far less coming in. There is people that are only, like when you're going out to the quotes, they only care about the cheapest price. And then the final thing is, it just feels like you have like a million competitors that you're going up against now. And so everyone is seeing pretty much the same thing, right? And there's a way around it, right? We don't have to keep on struggling like this. Now, what I'm about to tell you is not like a short-term fix. A lot of people, kind of like with weight loss and everything else, you got all the shots that you can take and everything else, and next thing you know, like you take this simple shot and you're just not hungry anymore, and next thing you know, you're losing like 30 some pounds in like, you know, you're losing like 5-10 pounds a month, right? And it just seems like it's the magic pill because nothing has ever worked, and like you just did this and it just freaking works, right? It's not that, just not. And I think that's also a reason why a lot of people aren't going to be doing it. But for the ones that do, and they do it consistently, I think the returns that they see from this investment of their time is going to be just insane. I do, okay? So the core concept is like the concept 1.0, like the 101 version, so to speak, is you're going to shoot, post, boost. Okay, so you're going to shoot content, you're going to post it, you're going to boost it. Okay, and the reason why we're doing this is because, again, when you're posting on like Facebook and shit like that, number one, you're probably not posting as much as you really should be. Number one. Number two is like if you happen to post, no, Facebook doesn't really show it to anyone. So you might have, you know, if just say you got 1,000 followers, there might be like 10 people that see it. It's just not enough. And the problem also is like if you have all these followers, they might be people that already bought fence from you, that don't need fence, whatever it happens to be, right? And so it doesn't really help your cause, okay? So this is why we need to boost or advertise these types of videos. Now I will do a video on this, but what we're gonna do specifically after you stop boosting it is we want to run Facebook ads, and we want to run what are called awareness campaigns, okay? Awareness campaign is just a way of basically getting your video in front of as many possible people as we can, right? And then from there, we can actually take the people that have watched your video and put them into like different lists. So if someone watched, if you did a 5-minute video and someone watched 50% of it, 2.5 minutes, that is a great person to have on your list because they might be way more likely to buy what you have to sell. Now, they might be interested just because they're just interested, or if they're interested in getting it done, It may not be right this second, but what if they were thinking, just starting to think about getting a fence or whatever you sell, right? Facebook shows it, they watch it, and they're more interested because they're just starting to think about this stuff, right? But they don't move forward right away. And we're going into the same situation now. It's always slower in the wintertime, and it starts picking up in March, April, May. It's the same every year. It's worse now, but for the most part, it's the same shit. What you have to do, or have to realize, is that if you take this content and you boost it or you run the actual Facebook ad, and not just the one video. When I'm talking for the full structure of this thing, realistically, I would love to see about 2 to 3 videos a week from you guys, okay? And then what you would do with those 2 to 3 videos a week is you're going to boost them. If you spent like 10 bucks, whatever, 20 bucks per video, I don't really care what the number is, but there has to be some kind of money going to it. Even 10 bucks a video. So you do 3 videos a week, it's 30 bucks a week. It's gonna cost you like 120, 150 bucks a month. It's really not that much money, okay? And if you don't have that much money, there's a reason for it, and you probably don't have enough leads, right? And this will help with that. Short term, you might have to like sacrifice, you might have to get a second job. I don't really care what you do, but like something's gotta be done, right? And so anyway, if you're doing just say you start posting stuff in the first week of December. So you have all of December, January, February, and just say March. So you have 4 months, right? So roughly, if you do 3 pieces of content, you're gonna have a week, you're gonna have like 36 pieces of content. Now, if you advertise those and the people that are interested in your products and services, not right this second, but long term, if they have seen between now and when they call you for a fence, if they've seen 35 different pieces of helpful content or content that shows that you can help them fix their problem, or if they've seen videos where it's like, hey, is your post, did one or a few of your fence posts break and you really just need to get them fixed so that way you can get the whole fence replaced in the spring? If that's the case, watch this video. Now, if they're seeing that type of content that's allowing them to secure the yard for their kids or for their dogs and allow them to save up the money until they're ready to get it in the springtime. They're seeing all that kind of content. They're seeing like installation type content. They're showing like question content as far as like, do you need a permit? What kind of fence for around the pool? That kind of stuff. They're seeing like all this random type of content. They seem like 30 pieces, right? At this point, even if it's like they watch 2 minutes a piece, right? But if at that point, that's 1 hour worth of content, right? Because you watched 30 pieces, 2 minutes a piece, 60 minutes, right? By the time they call you and they've seen all that shit, but they have not seen that from anyone else, what is the likelihood that they choose you over these other people? How much better do you think your chances are? Think about it. And that's what I'm trying to convey to people. So it just comes down to branding. And again, the branding is, if you think about it in the simplest terms, it's just reputation. So branding is what you want people to think about your company. And this I got from like online, but branding is what you want people to think about your company, and reputation is what people actually think about your company, okay? So if they've never seen anything from you, but you have really good reviews, it's like, oh, I think they might be pretty good, right? Whereas like if they've seen your truck and you got your truck labeled and stuff like that, and they've seen you in the area, your truck in the area like countless times, they're a lot more likely to trust you because their neighbors have trusted you. But then on the flip side, if they constantly see videos and things like that and you are showing that you're not some like sociopath, chances are, and you're showing them like, again, you can fix their problem and you're helping them out and all this other kind of stuff, again, what do you think the increased likelihood of them actually going with you compared to other companies, even though you might be more expensive? What do you think the chances are? It just, like, that's what I'm trying to convey. It will just increase your chances. Whether you're gonna end up getting more leads. I told that one guy, he's best of Bucks County. And I'm like, can you imagine? I'm like, and that obviously helps. But can you imagine if you're best of Bucks County and then you're doing this hyper local awareness campaigns just for people in Bucks County? And they see you over and over and over and over. And again, I don't want you guys posting content like, oh my God, we are so great. Obviously, they're not going to say it like this, but I don't want to see, and they don't want to see content that's like, our company is so great because of A, B, and C. No one gives a shit about you. They just don't. Like, they just care that you can fix their problem. That's it, right? Fix their problem, don't steal their money. Show that you're helpful. Show that you actually give a shit. Whatever it may be. You're going to be the go-to person. And then maybe the people that are watching it, it's not even them that are going to use you. But if someone, Sally, has seen 30 of your videos and you seem like a decent person and knows what the hell they're doing and their company stands behind their work, and the way they would know something like that is because when you go around job sites and maybe you notice there's an issue. Like your guys installed it, there was an issue, and you were just like talking about what happened and how you fixed it. That's showing that like you will take care of any issues that are happening. It could also be, it's like having a video. It's like, hey, Joe here from, such and such company, and today or yesterday we got a call that one of the homeowners that we did work for, their gate's just not shutting properly. And you showed them what went wrong and how you fixed it. Again, it's just further showing that you give a shit. If there's an issue, you're gonna take care of it. And like a lot of people won't post this kind of stuff. They just won't, but it will help. So post content. And then the other thing that I started talking about, you can start turning, sir. There you go. You got it. So the other thing that I talked about is you have the shoot, post, boost, right? The other thing that you can do is take this content as a video. It's a quick video, like maybe it's answering a question. I talked about it in just a few, at this point, it's been a few hours, but for you, it's been like 15 minutes ago, right? If you're watching a whole video. Again, if you take this piece of content and you're going out to an estimate and it's like you went out to an estimate and you keep on getting the same question over and over and over. Like, the 3 questions that you get all the time. Like, it, right? Answer those 3 questions. I would do them separately, and you can also do them all together, or you just do them all together and then you can separate them out. And so anyway, you talk to someone today and you schedule an appointment for tomorrow, right? For an on-site estimate. Well, what you do with this content is after you book the appointment, say, hey, Sally, super excited for our appointment tomorrow. Here's a quick video that I just made. And it's because it seems like most people have this question that they don't, that they have, right? And so here's the answer for it. Hope it helps. See you tomorrow, right? What do you think is going to happen if you are doing things like that and no one else does, right? What do you think it's going to do to your chances of booking more jobs? Think about it. I don't know how else to convey it. So that's why the next structured piece of content that we end up doing is specifically on this, because I've said it so many times at this point, right? Oops. I've said it so many times, but people still don't do it. And so I feel like it's my job to say it in such a way, I gotta go up. Say it in such a way, or convey it in such a way that you're like, you know what? Joe is right. I really need to get my shit together. I really need to do this. And I'm just gonna freaking do it. That's what I'm hoping. So that's what I'm gonna do with the structured content. I just showed up to my sports recovery person. I can talk about that as well because I injured myself playing pickleball the other day. And honestly, I'm sure I can turn some of that into a business lesson as well. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We are doing well over here, except for I fucked up my knee, but that's besides the point. So anyway, I'm gonna go talk to this guy and see what I need to do, and I think I'm just gonna have to start working out. So anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Talk to you. Bye.